Welcome back to the Asian Menswear Podcast. I'm Mike. I'm joined by Leo, my co-host. And today we're going to be having a Christmas podcast episode. We're basically going to be talking about like our experience with Christmas, like we did with Thanksgiving. I think this episode is probably going to release earlier, I think a couple of days before Christmas. So I think the episode will release Wednesday. Well, actually today, right? Today's Wednesday. So we'll release this today and then just in time for Christmas. But yeah, we'll talk about our experience, some things, a couple of things, some points about Christmas that we want to get off our chest. And I think Leo's pretty much going to run today's episode as well. But before we jump into the episode, how are you doing, Leo? I know you've been sick, but
feeling a little sick. I actually got COVID. I tested positive just like a few days ago, a week ago. So this whole Omicron variant thing is running around, man. It's crazy. So you guys got to be safe out there. Just, better safe than sorry, okay?
Yeah, because I think New York, the numbers went like crazy, right? Like, what are the numbers?
Yeah, it went way high up. I think this variant just came out of nowhere because a lot of people in New York are vaccinated. But I guess now we kind of do need that booster shot because Alicia got the booster and she's doing fine. So, yeah, man, be safe out there, especially during this time of the year when we're all kind of meeting with friends and family and stuff too.
Right. Because when you told me last week, because we were supposed to record, and then you said you weren't feeling well, but you didn't update me on exactly what it was. So crazy that you did actually.
Yeah, I had no idea. And then until finally I was able to get tested. Even the COVID testing lines are insane in New York right now. So
wow,
I don't know, New York, man.
Damn. I'm looking up some of the cases because it's so funny because I actually got COVID last year around the same time. So both Leo and I have COVID year back to back.
Taking turns a year later.
I'm glad you're feeling okay. It sucks. Hopefully everything clears up before you guys do travel to Buffalo to spend Christmas there. Yeah,
we'll see. That might have to change a little bit.
Oh man.
But it is what it is, just to be safe.
Yeah, definitely. So I'd like to know. Yeah, like you told me that you were headed to Buffalo. Is that what you normally do for Christmas, or like what happens in the case that you can't go?
Well, no, we're just gonna stay home. But in the past 10 years, of dating Alicia, that's been kind of like the new Christmas tradition for us. Just spending it with their family because they actually celebrate Christmas, whereas my family over the years hasn't really done that. Yeah.
Oh, I for some reason I just assumed that you do. That's
no,
Christian,
but Christian Christmas is different from Santa, holiday, go shopping, gift wrapping, Christmas tree, Christmas. You know what I mean?
Oh, explain that to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
American-centric thinking. That's what happens.
Yeah, exactly. So, wait, hold on. Like, do you celebrate Christmas?
Yeah, but not based off of like why we like the real reason people celebrate. It's a celebration of Jesus Christ, right? But my family's me. I'm not even religious, so it's more for us. It's like a American culture thing that that we celebrate.
Yeah, so that's okay. So that's a great. I think that's a great segue into this whole episode because I think like Christmas for me, I feel like now I've celebrated Christmas in so many different ways just because of my journey. So let's like start from the beginning. So, in Hong Kong, when I first celebrated Christmas, from what I remember, it was literally just like buying gifts. Like I remember as a kid, my parents used to be like, yeah, go and pick a gift. Like we'll go to the toy store. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Here's a $10, $50 limit. Like you pick a toy and that's Christmas. And that's what I remember. So to me, it was like, I don't think I ever believed in Santa growing up. Like it was not a thing for me. It was just like, yeah, this is a Western holiday. This is Christmas. This is how they celebrate it with the lights and the trees and there's a Santa.
You're right.
But like, it was not like, I grew up with Santa. So I think that's also a culture shock when I come to America and people are like, you can't tell the kids Santa is fake. And I'm like, what the heck? Like people really believe Santa was real. Like that was a culture shock for me. And even the other day I was talking to my mom, like just talking about like what was Christmas like back in Hong Kong? Because for me, I thought it was just like I buy a gift. And she was saying how Christmas in Hong Kong was very different because in Asian culture, that time of the year was more about holiday bonuses and holiday parties. It really showed the end of the year. And so that's when a lot of work parties happen and a lot of work bonuses and gifts from work, not so much like with family stuff. And then she said that like in the East, in Asia, people actually like celebrating Christmas as well because it was actually one of the few holidays that they didn't have to spend with family. Because when it comes to like Chinese New Year and like the Mid-Autumn Festival, like you have to spend it all with family. And it's like a marathon of like visiting your grandparents, visiting your aunt, your cousins. Like you have to visit everyone. But whereas Christmas is like very relaxed, you can just go hang out with your friends and go get a drink with your coworkers and go to holiday parties. So I thought that was a very interesting perspective comparing to other Asian holidays as well. So that alone, I think like that's what I experienced in the East.
Dude, I wouldn't have expected that at all. That's crazy. I just thought it was a classic.
It's very different.
Yeah, I thought it was that was very small-minded of me to believe that this is what happens all around the world. Because I know like a lot of people do celebrate.
Wow.
Like in Japan, like I think Japan, I think they buy like it's like a tradition where they buy KFC specifically for Christmas. Did you hear about that?
Okay.
Like KFC is so big in Japan for Christmas. They buy it's normal for them to buy. Or like families buy funny. KFC for Christmas, which
like the family meal, chicken, biscuits,
they buy
gravy
KFC
and all that.
Yeah, they buy KFC and it's like huge there.
That kind of makes me think of Thanksgiving. It's like you literally do the one American thing that one time of the year to celebrate the holidays. Yeah, it's very different. I'm surprised that you're surprised by that.
No, that's why honestly, just for context. So when Leo and I were just kind of talking about like how we're going to do the episode, I thought the Christmas episode was going to be shorter because there wasn't like I felt like there wasn't much to talk about. But now I'm so glad that Leo came out because there's so many different angles with Christmas that I didn't even know about. Like I thought Leo just had like a traditional Christmas like I did or whatever else I know about Christmas. So.
Oh no!
Wow.
No, this is a very deep dive into the biggest holiday in our world history and our culture.
Wow. So
now I'm very curious to hear. Now let's go back and forth. I kind of want to hear about your experience, and then I want to jump back into how it was for me actually in America. So how was it for you growing up with Christmas?
So I think it's very similar to Thanksgiving, where when I was growing up, since my parents are from Vietnam, the refugees from Vietnam. So coming to America, Thanksgiving and Christmas, these are all like Western holidays. So I think for the most part, growing up, I don't think we did it like the traditional way. I think eventually we did because my mom, wanted us to, she wanted us to experience this holiday because it's a cultural American holiday, and I think my mom, she was decorating the house and I started getting sort of that feel, but it was mainly between my mom and my brothers, essentially. My dad was just kind of like the Asian dad. He's just like, he's not very, he just works.
He's like, this is not for me.
Yeah. Like it's more for the wife and the kids, very traditional.
For fun.
Yeah. And then eventually, just like Thanksgiving, it started becoming more of like a very traditional American Christmas where I celebrate with like my cousins. And, we still continue to this day to, we'll have it over in Sacramento, which is what, we do for Thanksgiving and then Christmas. But yeah, like we do gifts. My mom would wrap the gifts like normal. And, we celebrate it like as a cultural thing. But in the sense of like, are we celebrating it for the right reason? Like, the reason it's supposed to be for the celebration of Jesus Christ, right? Not in that sense, but I think Christmas has become like a global cultural event now. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to be religious. Although I do feel like sometimes the real Christians will be like, why are you guys celebrating? I feel like I've seen this on social media where like, why are you celebrating the birth of my Jesus? You know, using this time to celebrate. But, you know, I don't want to get into that, but that's sort of like been my experience with Christmas. So that's really funny.
So did you have like the whole Christmas tree? Did you decorate it? Did you get gifts wrapped and like Christmas Eve, like all that kind of stuff? Did you believe in Santa? Like what to what extent was your Asian American Christmas experience?
No, we had a tree.
How deep did we go?
Yeah. I'm actually now I'm thinking about, I'm very surprised that we had a tree so early. So that means that my mom, she really wanted us to experience Christmas. So we actually had it she wanted to be a part of that. So now I'm thinking about like for her to come here.
Real tree or fake tree?
I think we had a fake tree for a while. And then I think one year we had a real tree, which I thought was really cool. Cause I always want, you know, like you always see in the movies where they go out to into like the snow and they'll cut down their own tree. But like, obviously you buy from like a, you know, like what is it? A parking lot, a lot, you know, where they sell the trees. Yeah. I think I remember having that, but I don't know. I just remember watching like Home Alone. I don't know if you watched, like that was like a classic for me, Home Alone, with just a bunch of Christmas, you know, movies. And I'm just, exactly that, especially New York City. I always thought like being in New York City for Christmas because of Home Alone would have been so amazing. But yeah, that's pretty cool that I actually got to experience it. My mom did her best to.
So now I'm also curious. Were you already doing that in Texas, or was that more in like
Texas
California?
For sure.
Like,
that's in Texas. So I'm actually surprised.
What was Christmas like in Texas? What was Christmas like in Texas when it's hot? Like it doesn't get cold, right? It's not that cold. You never got snow. Does Texas get snow?
So this is surprising, but there was actually, it wasn't. I think it has snowed. I think this would be surprising to people, but what we have is called sleet. I think sleet is like it just gets so cold that it's like just like this thin layer of ice, on top of. But we've had ice. It's not soft snow. It's like there is snow though, which is surprising. But we did have snow,
very light, like fluffy,
kind of, but not enough to like you can pick up to make a snowball. It's just very small amount, a very small amount of it. So we did, actually, it was very cold actually. So summertime was very hot, and then winter was very, very cold. So we actually had like a kind of a decent, compared to California where you're not going to have snow at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it actually kind of felt like Christmas a little bit.
Yeah. I even have a picture. Maybe I'll post it on the podcast, but I have a picture where I think it's me, my brother, my mom, we're outside, and it's like you'll see the snow.
Oh.
Damn.
Well, we're gonna need that. We need some proper throwbacks.
Yeah, we do need some throwbacks. Actually,
rethink your childhood memory. That's cool.
Yeah.
So for me, once my family and I moved to New York City, I think a lot of the Christmas stuff we did was more because we were already in New York, so it's just like we'll go into the city to see the tree or see the lights. But we didn't really do that stuff at home. I don't really remember decorating at home. I don't really remember having, at least in New York City, I don't remember us really doing that stuff. And it just kind of felt like over the years as we got older, and when I say older, I'm talking about from like elementary school to junior high, then high school. It just kind of became like, as we got older, it's like, wow, you know, our parents are like, we're buying these kids gifts still. So as we got older, it's like, all right, like, do we have to like, you're old enough to, you know, get a part-time job. Why do I need to buy you a gift? So I think like over the years, as it got to like the high school years, Christmas just kind of like, it just kind of became a background thing. Cause it's like, it's a Western holiday. It's always been a Western holiday. We celebrate it as a kid because we buy you a toy or a gift, but you're older now. No more Christmas. They never said it like that, but it's like, all right, no more Christmas. And it also kind of became like, to me, it kind of felt like it became more of a thing where I did with my friends and like girlfriends, like in relationships. Yeah. It just felt like it was one of those holidays where you're not obligated, but you know, that's the spirit. And you're supposed to buy your friend a gift. So that kind of became the only kind of Christmas tradition that was kind of lingering as I was like in my teenage years, buying gifts for each other. But I also like what you said, because the whole Christian thing. So in my teenage years and then like my college years, that's when I became a Christian. So for me, it was like that I had that light bulb, like awakening moment. Was like, what? Like, oh, this is the real reason for Christmas. So for me,
Oh,
going to Christmas Eve service, going to church, and celebrating more so behind those reasons, and obviously singing those songs, that became more of my kind of Christmas spirit. That was more the reason to celebrate. So it's funny because I've kind of done like the two types of Christmases out there.
right. Mhm.
So I definitely remember that.
So wait, your parents,
and actually, yeah.
your parents are Christians,
Go ahead.
Christians, right? Or did you kind of go off and then become a Christian yourself?
I became more of a Christian myself. My dad
Oh,
never
for
really
some
went
reason
to
I thought-
church with us.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was like from your, like this is, you grew up like this, like, you know, like you grew up in a Christian household, right? Or
No.
oh wait,
I
so,
would say I'm the first Christian in my family.
oh wow.
Yeah,
This whole time I thought it was
Um,
like you grew up a Christian, so you know you're just a
No.
Christian. Oh shit.
I mean, I think there's a lot of Christian values, like my god grandmother in Hong Kong. She was a Catholic. Like I went to church with her for fun, and then like my mom, when we first moved to New York, she brought me to church because that's really where a lot of the community was. So like
oh,
you know,
yeah.
as immigrants, the local church had like a big Chinese community. So it was really a way to kind of just get plugged in and to ask for help,
Mm,
you know, to
Right.
to make friends. I don't know how much my mom actually believed in it, but my mom did bring my brother and I to church. I don't think she really went consistently. It was really just like, hey, get the kids plugged in, or like maybe I'll meet
right.
people that could, you know, and all that. So it
What
was
about your
really
brother?
just
Your brother's not.
me.
Your
He
brother's not either.
he also he also became a Christian.
Oh, okay.
We
The
both
brothers?
got
Okay.
baptized in the same church at
Okay.
separate times, but that was a big part of my like teenage years growing up, because then Christianity and, you know, celebrating the real
Reason for
reason
Christmas.
behind the season.
Yeah.
That was like the big part of that, and
Yeah.
it was cool because it was like it wasn't so much just about gifts anymore. It wasn't just about the lights
Right.
and the, you know, and the fancy things, but it was like, okay, like this is kind of cool. Like I believe in it, and I believe, you know, this is the reason for it.
Cool.
Actually, like talking about this kind of brought me back another memory too. When we
What's up?
first moved to New York, we lived in a Spanish neighborhood. We lived in like in Queens, if people know, Jackson Heights, Corona, big Hispanic Spanish neighborhood. And I think it's funny how this is one of my earliest memories of Christmas in America, in New York. But that song, Feliz Navidad. I mean, you definitely heard it.
You know,
in
word by
Texas
word
too,
or
right? Because
something?
you grew up with a big
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. I definitely
Feliz
heard. Big
Navidad.
Latino.
Feliz Navidad.
So you're telling me? Do you know
I thought
all
it's
the lyrics?
hilarious. No,
Okay,
I
I thought
can
you-
mumble parts of it.
I thought you heard enough
But
that you knew
I just
exactly
thought-
word for word.
I just thought it's hilarious that growing up, my dad was singing that song all the time because he also worked with a lot of his Hispanic coworkers at this
Right.
warehouse that he was working at.
That's hella funny.
And you know, they play it all the time on the radio, and it's super catchy, of course. So I think it's funny that the immigrant Christmas story is my Asian dad singing Feliz Navidad more than any other Christmas songs. You know, like he was able to sing
Yeah.
that. Like I don't remember, I don't know any Christmas songs growing up, but I know that one.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Damn.
And I think that's just funny. Like, and that kind of shows you how diverse like New York City is. That my earliest memory is the Spanish Christmas song.
That's hella
Um,
funny. Especially
yeah,
for an
so
immigrant
that was
kid, like,
kinda
this is
like-
what you're listening to.
That was yeah, right. Like, I remember that so much, and that's like my first impression of Christmas in that way.
And you brought up
Yeah,
a
and then
point
like
too.
later on, yeah.
You can go ahead. I can finish after you.
Yeah, so later, no, it's good. Like, I just think it's funny because I was thinking about like different Christmas experiences. My first job out of college, I was working at the bank, and I was working in the office, and I just remember around Christmas time, out of nowhere, everyone put out their stocking, the big red
Yeah,
thing,
yeah, yeah.
The stocking around the office. And I was like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
the heck? Like, number one, I didn't know what that was. Number two, I obviously didn't have one. So I literally have a photo in my Facebook memory that
we gotta post
when everyone
these.
was putting out something to hang,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I got a plastic bag. So I literally put like a little supermarket plastic bag at my office booth. And because I was like, well, it's just a decoration. I didn't know that people were going around putting like chocolates and like, you know, all these little gifts things and that thing.
Wow, dude, that's so
later
funny,
on,
man.
later, I think like
You
a
got
week
your
or two
own?
later, I think like I went to Target and I bought
I
one
need to
or
get
something.
me.
So
I need to get myself one.
it was nice because then it was also nice because like, yeah, my first job at the bank, they also did like a whole holiday party thing.
Yeah.
So, and then it was like, yeah, like, look at what's in your stocking, whatever. And it was like candy and all
dude,
that.
that's so funny. I
very festive.
I actually never knew what the stockings were for too. Like, this is so funny, but we actually had stockings back when I lived in Texas. My mom had them up next to the fireplace. But the funny thing is, we never used it for the purpose that it was meant for. Like, you're supposed to put stuff in it. They would stay there the entire year. So my mom never took them down.
Year?
Yeah, the stockings would sit there the entire year.
Wow.
Yeah, like she would leave that. I don't know. Like she just left that up there, and it wasn't until actually.
Just looks nice.
Yeah, it wasn't actually until recently with my girlfriend. She's like, she knows. Obviously, she celebrates Christmas very traditionally, and she was talking about like stockings, like this and that, and I really never really knew what the hell a stocking was really meant for. So that's funny how you're like
until recently.
Yeah, until recently.
Damn, that's crazy.
Because even my family, my cousins, we don't do the
wasted years.
Yeah, so like that's so funny, like how you didn't know you had to use that trash bag, but I'm literally like, this is happening with me now. Like I'm trying to understand because they, Anissa got me a stocking, so it's nice to have like to have one and then like to have something in it. But that's so funny how like we both didn't know what exactly it was for.
Hey, listen, this needs to be in some like Asian American handbook, American culture guide. I don't know because
for real.
And then like now it made me think because at work they also did like ugly sweater contest, and it's like, oh, that's a thing. Like that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
And that happened in multiple different bank jobs that I did. Like ugly sweater contest. It's just like a whole holiday, another thing to do. Office morale thing. So I thought it was really funny, like to see how Christmas is evolved, since you're a kid, and then Christmas is different when you're at work. Things like that.
Did you get a nice looking sweater? Because I know, fashion and everything, or like.
No, I definitely did not participate. I was just watching from afar. I was watching the coworkers that participate.
Right. Would you do it now? I mean, like that's the whole point, right? I think it's less about like.
Yeah, I mean, ugly sweaters has become such a mainstream thing that companies literally make good looking or like, like. Decent looking ugly
like
ones,
funny ones
you
too.
Can actually find them like everywhere now. Yeah.
And that reminds me, this is a point I want to bring up. And it's like like how you said you celebrated Christmas one way, which is like just like the gift part, and then you celebrated Christmas where like like I guess the true meaning behind what Christmas is. So for me, a part of Christmas sometimes for me is like it's kind of ironic how Christmas has become so commercialized, where it's just about gift giving, where to the point where you have people literally just give you a list of what they want and then you just go and buy them. So to me, it almost seems like, what's the point? Here, I want this. So wrap it up for me, give it to me. And then it becomes like this kind of like, and then people get stressed off of it, right? Like you have to buy people gifts and then now you're rushing around. Yeah. And then, the drama that comes with Christmas parties with families like that. So it becomes this weird thing that I always see like, damn, it kind of sucks, like I think it takes away from like what you would think Christmas is about. Like we talk about like Thanksgiving, it's supposed to be with your family, having a good time, but sometimes it turns out to be like something a bit more stressful. I don't know what, with people listening, that's
100%.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you. It's kind of like for me, I don't feel it like that, but I feel it with Alicia's family because I think that's a good example of probably a lot of American families where it's hard to break a cycle. It's really hard to break a cycle because it's years of, it's years of them as kids or even the mom or like the previous generation. Maybe they didn't really get Christmas gifts, so they want their kids to have gifts. So it's a cycle of like, this is the one time of the year that I need to go all out, or I need to have a Christmas list by like Labor Day. Like, like people start Christmas shopping so early.
Labor Day.
And it really becomes a little too much. And I think especially even like when you're, we're adults, like we don't need 50 things on a Christmas list. I think like kind of what we said about Thanksgiving, it is such a nice time to get together. It is very festive. And, like you dress for the occasion, the lights and the tree. I think like if we kind of take the gifts, kind of make it more like a background thing, I think it's a lot nicer because it's just about gathering together, having a drink together, making cookies together, having dinner together, going to see the tree together. Like, I think that's all really nice memory and really great quality time well spent. Yeah. But then when it comes to the gifts, it's a little too much stress. I think that's why keep the gifts to a minimum, maybe to a $50 minimum, or even like buy the gifts if you really thought about them or if you came across something unique and nice.
That's what I mean. Like that's nicer.
It's just too much.
Like a thoughtful gift. Like that's what I would expect, like the best way to celebrate, where you're actually getting them something because this is something that you thought of for them, versus like them just giving you, hey, give me this and that. And then it becomes like, it's kind of, I guess, meaningless in a way. It's like, you could just get that gift yourself. Like, it's just, at that point,
I have a really good question.
Okay.
Are you a hard person to shop for?
I'm very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
I feel like you're pretty hard too, because I feel like, well, for me or you, I feel like I have everything I need. So I don't talk about things that I want, like I guess that's why for me, like I usually, whatever it is that I need. It's like, I guess that makes it hard for me.
You also seem like someone, like if you want something or if you need something, you've done the research and then you're going to go get it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that makes it hard for me to shop for me, unfortunately.
Yeah. But also you're not a big shopper. Like you're not like,
that's true too.
It's not like you want so many things. You're pretty minimalist from
I am.
what I know.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
That's a good read.
I'm like the opposite of you, where I'm like a maximalist.
Maximalist.
But I want very specific things. Like I find random things that I really, really like. Like, I don't know, it could be like a limited edition this, and it's like, say sneakers, or like a limited edition jacket, or like a designer thing. I don't expect anybody to get it for me because I know I'm going to find a way to, I don't know, get it on sale, or, like save it up and buy it for myself. So over the years, it's like I want nicer and nicer, or like very specific things. So it's hard for them. Yeah. So it's hard for someone to just think of it, because it's like, it's in my head that I'm like, ooh, this is so rare. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
because I think usually what happens is like, if I want something, I'm going to buy it.
That's what I expected. Yeah. So I feel like
like if I want something, I'm just going to buy it.
Right. That's why I expected if someone's trying to buy you a gift, like it's going to be hard because you're already kind of knocking everything out pretty quickly instead of waiting around. Yeah.
And I can't wait, man. Like if I want something, like why would I wait? Like I can afford it.
Who do you expect gifts from? Who do you expect gifts from? Because me, like it's very minimum. I don't get a lot of gifts because
like usually I just get what I expect it from. I'm usually just really Alicia, and I know that
Anissa usually gets me stuff.
Her mom loves to basically go all out. So I expect a little bit of something.
Yeah.
But even then, I have to give her a list to help her out. But I'm like, I get it. It is really nice when everyone's together and we're opening gifts at the same time.
Yeah.
You don't want anybody to feel left out. So I completely understand the stress of it. But I feel very thankful that I'm very much accepted into her family, and I've been celebrating Christmas with them for the past like 10 years.
Wow.
And when I say they go all out, it's like
Like
the
a real
tree's all
Christmas.
decorated,
Right.
and then Christmas Eve, everyone go to bed. Christmas morning, 7 a.m. Like, whoa, where did all these gifts come from?
Oh,
It's a cool feeling. Like, I didn't grow up with that.
yeah.
So, I feel like I've experienced 3 different Christmases. And like this third one is with Alicia's family, where this feels like probably what the kids felt like growing up. And it's cool. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
And it's cool sitting around, everyone taking turns opening a gift at a time. And then like, boom, next thing you know, there's like so many gifts. So it's been really cool to have that experience, because that to me feels like the traditional American Christmas.
That's so funny.
And that is really nice.
That's funny because I experienced like that traditional, like you say, where there's a ton of gifts and they do everything like the right way, like the traditional, the common accepted like way to do it. And it's normally been with my girlfriends essentially. So they always celebrate it.
Oh, wow.
Like how Alicia was celebrating. So with my ex, with Anissa's family, like her parents are super cool. They always give me a nice gift. And I think you're right. I think, it makes you feel good that you're included. Like, so I totally understand what you mean.
Yeah.
So it's funny that a little something. But the gifts are fire. So shout out to them. It's so funny. How we, as Asian Americans, like this is sort of how we get our taste of traditional Christmas. And for some of the guys listening, I'm sure some of you guys probably do have a traditional Christmas, so, but this is sort of like our experience with it. And I'm starting to enjoy it a lot more. And I wonder, would you say this is your favorite Christmas out of the 3 different ones that you've experienced?
Yeah, definitely. It is, I don't know, it's cool. 'Cause like, I didn't grow up with it. And to me, that seemed like such an American thing. Like it felt like an outsider looking in. It felt like this is not my kind of holiday. This is not the holiday I celebrated. So like, it's not for me. My parents never did it like this. And you've seen it in the movies, the TV shows, and you hear about it more like a hearsay or like a myth, right? Like, but like to actually experience it and to be part of that, like it is nice. It is really, really nice. So I get it. I get the hype. And it's, that's definitely something that I will probably do in the future when I have a family. Yeah.
Do you get gifts for Alicia's parents too? Or do you get anyone besides Alicia or no? What about your brother? Do you get gifts for your brother too? Or okay. No?
So that's the funny thing, because I get gifts more for her family than for my own family, because like my own family doesn't really celebrate it. So
got it.
But most of the gifts that I do buy, it's not like, hey, give me your list. Like if I come across something and I think you like it and I think it's for that person, I'll buy it. But also like my brother too, he is very, he likes very different things, or like, I don't know what he's bought for himself. So I don't want to like double buy something or buy something that he doesn't want or waste it. Whereas like, I think like when it comes to Alicia's family, I know them well enough where I can buy them basic necessities. It could be like new gym clothes or new work stuff. You know, things I know they could use or they could appreciate because they don't really spend money on themselves otherwise anyway. So, yeah.
Nice. All right. But yeah, let's. So what are you gonna end up doing? I know you have COVID, so that might mess up plans for you. But
yeah, I mean, right now, just kind of staying put, self quarantine. I mean, I feel a lot better. And I also didn't really feel that bad. It's just, I did test for it. So hoping to test negative soon, could make last minute changes. But if not, just staying home, having some hot chocolate, playing some music, watching some Christmas movies.
Would you eat traditional food, or would you just like take out, or what would you guys do for food?
Oh, I don't know. Actually, I didn't even think about
worst case scenario. Yeah.
Because usually Christmas we just have like a big Christmas ham kind of thing. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. We've been having a lot of fun, that's for sure, because the
weather,
I need that beef noodle soup in me to heal me. But yeah, we'll see. I'm
heading out to Sacramento with my cousins, and then hopefully make it in time for Anissa's family's Christmas.
Wow, you got double.
So, yeah, we'll see. So it's like a 30-minute drive between us. Niece's, she's celebrating with her extended family, and they all expect me to be there, but I'm going to see if I'll be able to make it. So basically 2 Christmases.
So basically, yes,
Saturday.
you're going to make it. They expect you. You're gonna be there.
Yeah,
They expect you. You're gonna be there.
So hopefully, I mean, they usually have a pretty big party, so
Okay,
we'll see.
That's
hopefully,
cool.
I'm sure it'll be a good time.
Awesome. You're
So,
gonna
yeah,
get dressed up. You're gonna get festive. You're gonna wear some red. You're gonna,
Yeah, I didn't even think
little-
about that. I don't know if I even should. It depends.
What?
If Anissa does, then I will. So we'll see.
You don't got like a red sweater, nothing red at all, not red scarf, not a.
Damn, I should have got myself an ugly.
What's going on?
I should have got myself an ugly Christmas
Damn,
sweater.
Grinch, bro. Grinch. You're Grinch, bro.
Wait, are you
That's
gonna
crazy.
dress up?
Damn.
Do you usually
I
dress
am.
up?
Look at me. I'm wearing a. Look at this festive red jacket I'm wearing.
Damn,
This guy-
I forgot.
This guy was like, "All right, yo, let's just do a Christmas episode real quick." What a Grinch.
Yeah, you got that's a pretty dope blazer you got on. Pretty solid.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Yeah, but yeah, that would you say that pretty much wraps it up?
Yeah, man, that was
Pretty
great.
solid. I like that.
That was really
yeah.
cool to hear about your experience.
Yeah,
And
I
my
think
experience
sometimes
as well as an immigrant.
Yeah, I think sometimes having these conversations like really opens up a lot of memories that I kind of just don't think about too much. So that was cool. I appreciate you pushing us to do a full episode for Christmas. And for everyone listening, hope you guys all have a great Christmas. Hopefully you guys don't get into any drama with family. Hopefully you guys use that time to recharge, get ready for 2022. It's around the corner, guys. Can't believe the year's gone by this. But yeah, I'd love to hear your stories, your experience with Christmas. And man, I'd love to see what people wear for their Christmas too, if they dress up. So am I the only one that doesn't wear Christmas related, attire for Christmas? But yeah, Leo, do you have anything to end it off with?
Yeah, man. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you so much for listening in. And hope you guys enjoyed this break, enjoyed this holiday time. Regardless or not, if you get a gift, that's not what it's all about. Just hopefully you spend some quality time with your friends and family.
Yes. And also, guys, I am going to do a better job at this, but please subscribe. If you guys enjoy the podcast, we need to make sure that you guys are subscribing, helping us grow, motivate us to do more episodes. So yeah, do us a favor, subscribe, leave us a review, and enjoy Christmas, enjoy the holidays, and we'll talk to you guys for the next one. Peace.
Peace.